To the Bread Tuck and the Executive. I'm Chris. This is Mike, the Executive. Man, what's up, Mike? How you doing, man?
Man, what's going on, man? We back again for another one, man. Keep bringing all this heat.
Yeah, man, gotta drop this interesting conversation to you, man. Man, before we get into anything, man, what's up with you, man? How your week going, man?
Man, this week been good. Still blessed every day, waking up, grinding, every day trying to get it. Another day, another dollar.
That's dope, man. You see my boy got the gold chain on, man. My boy making it happen, man. I got my JC Penney.
Shout out to these coats, too.
Oh, my goodness. Relax, man. Got my JC Penney shirt on, $10 with the coupon, man. Y'all sign up with that, man. Bread Tuck game forever. But check this out, Mike.
What up?
So, I'm looking at the, I'm going through my little news feeds and everything, and I see this cat. You remember Antwaan Randle? He played football for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, for sure.
He was like a receiver, halfback, quarterback, running back, whatever.
Yeah.
Watch this. He said that if he was able to go back in time and you give him options, he would rather have played pro baseball instead of pro football.
Yeah.
Because right now he's suffering from memory loss. He's having trouble going up the steps and everything. And you got to remember, this cat is a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's saying that if he could go back in time, he would rather play baseball, bro. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did. I actually, this morning, of course, watching ESPN and watching First Take and all that, he actually had an interview on ESPN this morning to actually talk more in depth about what he was saying. But, it's funny because Antwaan Randle only spent 9 years in the league. And if you guys don't know, especially who is football, football really stands for not for long. If you have a career in the NFL over 5 years, you consider really have a successful career. So this guy had a very good career because he almost spent a decade. He spent 9 years in the league. He was a Super Bowl champion in 2005 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so this guy is only 36 years old right now. He's already retired from the NFL. And he stated to the fact that, he's already having memory loss. He has to ask his wife questions over and over again and his wife would basically say, yo, I just told you this. He was saying that, he's praying that he doesn't have any serious issues for the long run. I thought it was interesting fact, too, how he had to say, it hurts him when he's coming down the stairs. He has to walk down the stairs sideways. And keep in mind, guys, once again, this guy's only 36 years old. I'm 32. You know what I mean?
Man.
It's kind of scary when you think about that from that perspective.
So check this out, man. He even went along the lines of saying, he said something along the lines of, he doesn't even want his children playing football. And he also said that if he played baseball, he would probably still be playing baseball.
It's true.
So check this out, Mike. I know you hooped in high school, man.
Sure.
We all, we did our thing. I ran track, whatever. Watch this. I played football. Now, this finna sound crazy. I wore a uniform. I wasn't good enough to see the field. I'm just being honest with you. But now when I look back on things like this, I'm like, man, thank God I wasn't good enough to get out there on the field. Mike, these boys out here looking crazy. You saw the movie Concussion, right?
No, I haven't seen the movie Concussion yet, but I actually seen a lot of reviews and a lot of in-depth talk about it. You know what I mean? And people who have told me who've seen it said, like, yo, that movie will give you a different perspective on the NFL culture, period.
Of course, bro. It changed. I saw it. We're not gonna give the movie away because some people still need to see it.
Yeah.
But just me watching the movie, I looked at, football is like the #1 sport in America.
Of course.
But while I was watching that movie, I was like, man, football is the devil. Man, just the information that was given in that movie, bro, it'll make you, it'll kind of change the way you watch football. Yeah. So now when I'm watching football, when I see cats get concussions, I'm really like, oh no, can he come back from this?
Yeah, guys, I mean, at the end of the day, concussions is a serious thing. I don't think people realize this perspective of that. A concussion, if you guys want me to put in basically layman's term that we all relate to, basically think about somebody taking a hammer to your brain and basically pounding your brain or shaking your head to the point where your brain is moving up inside down in your head. That's basically at the end of the day what a concussion is. You can go in more medical terms, they can give you all the scientific terms and breaking down the acronyms and all that, but that's basically what a concussion is. So imagine getting that hit over and over to your head, which in a violent game of football, which we all do love, that can cause a lot of brain damage for the long run to you. Now, and you gotta look at the history of it too. You know, you look at players like Junior Seau, you know, which is probably one of the best D-line and linebackers to ever play the game. And you look at all these guys, like the situation in Kansas where the dude, you know, killed himself and killed his girlfriend. You know, these are related back to concussion issues, and it's kind of scary when you really think about it. But you know, it goes back to one of those things, man. And you know, I didn't see concussion, but I seen a little ad clip from it where it was like, yo, they replace Sundays, which is usually for God, for the NFL. You know what I mean? That's how big this game is, so people kind of overlook that. And I think it's going to take more people like Antwaan Randle speaking now on the seriousness of football, you know what I mean, to let people really know the real deal if you do decide to play the game or you do decide to have your kids play the game of football.
Man, and that's crazy, and I'm gonna ask you about that in a second. But now, to put things in perspective, you know, when Barry Sanders left the game of football early, you know, we all sat back and was like, man, why are you doing that? You still have enough. You're still young enough. You have no injuries, man. Go break records. This doesn't make sense. When you look at cats like Ricky Williams, man, who ended up kind of retiring early and then coming back or whatnot. We didn't understand him at first, but then it's like, after all this, I'm like, okay, I get it. So watch this, Mike.
Yeah.
You have children, you know. You have a son. You have a son who's gifted in the sport of football. Would you allow him to play football?
Man, that's a tough one, because really understanding the seriousness of it, you know, I don't want to say no, but then I also would say honestly that I'd be worried about him playing football. Now, would I let that be his first choice? No, I wouldn't want football to be honestly his first choice. I would want my son to be, you know, diverse and different, playing basketball, playing soccer, playing baseball, you know, playing more sports where the longevity is longer, but also the reward is longer, because you got to think about it, guys. Most people who retire from the NFL, if you didn't have a long, strenuous career in the NFL, most big-time players get one big contract in their life in the NFL. It's not like basketball where you can pay 5 years, get another big $100 million deal multiple times, or like baseball, get a 10-year, $300, $200 million deal, and it's all guaranteed. So football is probably the only sport where not all of their money is guaranteed. They can get a 5-year, $30 million contract, but only $15 million is guaranteed, and that's if you don't get hurt. You don't get the rest of that money. So honestly, if I had a son, to answer your question, Rizzo, football would not be the first sport that I would want them to play. Now, if my son is passionate about football and he wants to play football, yes, I have no other choice but to support my son in any sport that he do decide to play. But no, it honestly probably wouldn't be his first choice that I recommend for him to play, honestly.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I have to do some soul searching on that one, man. I don't know. I love football, man. Watch this. I love watching football. I'm a great spectator of football.
We all do.
I don't know if I want mine playing though, Mike. I just got to be honest with you, man. Man, you don't want to dribble that basketball. You don't want to hit that baseball, soccer. Hell, go play hockey or something, man. Go run track. But I can't front with you, man. That football, I'll let them kick field goals. You get in there and kick a field goal or punt or something.
For sure.
But I don't know about that football, Mike. I can't front with you.
It's definitely a gladiator sport. You know, you and I both know a couple of guys who played in the league. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure that if we were to sit down and have this conversation with them, they will probably give their honest perspective on it as well. But, you know, we definitely want nobody to look at this video and think that we're saying football is a bad sport. We do love the game of football, but we also understand looking from the outside perspective of it. And regardless if we play football or not, you know, like Steve said, we're both athletes. We understand that football is the most prone sport to the most critical injuries that can really end your career, in your life. I had a good friend of mine from high school, you know, who was like a big brother to me growing up, and he had a serious injury career that left him paralyzed. So, you know, we're only speaking from a perspective that we can relate to that happens in playing the game of football. It is a very deadly, violent sport, but it just so happened to be the #1 sport America loves.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, with that said, man, I recommend everybody go see Concussion. And, man, Will Smith was incredible.
Yeah, which they blackballed that movie, by the way, too, because the situation speaking more in depth of the NFL. Let's just keep real with that.
Wow. Okay, so the NFL was trying to hide, and again, we're not trying to make the NFL sound like bad guys, because we both love football. But just, I'm saying, you know, for your kids, if you have kids that are going to be playing football and everything, learn as much information as you can, man, you know, before you put them on that field, man. That movie will change your whole perspective on concussions and on the injuries of the NFL, man. So we're just saying, man, go check that out, read up, you know, and just know what you're getting into. Yeah. But speaking of Will Smith, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, watch this, Mike.
Of course.
As we know with the Oscars, okay.